Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre. With your hosts, Mitch, Nate, and Lisa.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I am your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Lisa.
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
And Nate.
Pennywise says 2020 needs to be over.
Well, you know what, Nate? We're here. We made it. We did it. This is effectively the last full week of 2020. I didn't think we'd make it to this point, honestly. I had assumed that an asteroid was coming, something. I mean, or the ending of Cabin in the Woods. Something was absolutely going to happen, but we made it. So
someone check on Sigourney Weaver just to make sure that doesn't happen. Can we check on that?
Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. Look, it's the end of the year, and every year we do a end-of-the-year survey. So this episode is really to talk about those survey results, figure out what you liked, what you didn't like. We're going to talk about some of the best movies of the year, some of the maybe surprises, some of the things we didn't like. Nate, it was a little difficult this year. There's not as many, movies, were coming out outside of like directly to things like Shudder.
Yeah, my top 10, half is exclusively hosted on Shudder.
Yeah.
All streaming this year. But I liked it. I don't know. Lisa, I want to ask you a question. How many 2020 released horror films do you think I watched this year?
Oh, God.
The horror films that released in 2020 and only horror, how many do you think I watched this year?
How many were released?
If I put the
like hundreds.
All right, if I
so
put
many.
Lisa, if I put the line at 15, you want to take the over or the under?
Higher than 15.
Okay, let's go.
Nate watched 15 in a day.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Let's do the over under at 35. 35 movies.
Oof.
Would you take the over or the under, Lisa?
Considering the year that we've had and we haven't been able to leave, I take the over, but not by much.
Okay.
It was actually,
I would take the under.
It was actually 39.
Ooh, Lisa, you did it. Well done.
I was going to say 40.
Did I watch
nice.
about 8 or 9 in the last week? Absolutely, to push that over the edge. So you're welcome.
Oh.
There was a lot of horror movies that still came out. I think we see one horror movie I saw one horror movie in the theater this year. And I saw it with you, Mitch, Invisible Man. I think you saw Gretel and Hansel.
Oh, Jesus
So you saw
Christ.
two.
Did that
I
movie
think you
come
saw
out this
two.
year?
Yes, it did.
This year truly was the worst. Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, terrible.
It's Gretel and Hansel.
Get
the title right.
Sorry, Hansel and Gretel is probably a better movie. Gretel and Hansel was horrendously bad.
I saw it on a bunch of people's top 10 list for the year of horror movies. I'm not
of what? Like top 10 of shittiest films made? Then yes, number one.
On the positive side.
Did they just not see that many movies? I don't understand.
Based on what you told me, I did not catch that. I went for more obscure horror movies in this last week trying to catch up with everything. I was like, should I watch Gretel and Hansel? And then I thought about you ranting about hating it so much. I was like, yeah, I'll just skip.
Yeah, because have you heard anyone talk about it since it came out? No. Staple of a good movie is people not talking about it almost immediately after it comes out. So,
director of Gretel and Hansel, please let us know if you'd like. I'll invite you on the podcast just to rebuff Mitch. That would actually be I want an interview where Mitch gets dunked on by everyone.
It just doesn't happen.
Can we have that happen?
I don't know. We're gonna see how these voting results turned out. Usually this year was good for me. And I think we'll go around and just say something positive about this year. This year was good for me in that, normally, and I'm worried we're probably gonna get the same thing. Normally when we do the survey, we get a lot more pro basement people. And we get a lot more people that tend to like Nate. I'm hoping we've balanced out the scales. They usually agree with Nate in our debate questions. But this year was great because I felt validated. I felt seen. I felt heard when we had actual industry people, people who make the movies saying they're pro addict and they're just dunking on Nate. So
am I winning the People's Choice Award and you're winning the Emmy? What is this?
I think that's the Foreign Film Association is siding with me. You're winning the People's Choice. I think that's exactly how I'm okay with that spread.
Okay.
I don't know, Elisa, this year, I think everyone listening missed you a lot this year for obvious reasons. You weren't around as often. I'm guessing that's also something you're grateful for this year, is that you didn't have to watch as many horror movies.
Yeah, it was a silver lining. Not sleeping for a whole year with a newborn is not fun, but at least I didn't have to be terrified out of my mind at 3 a.m.
That's a different kind of horror movie.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's enough horror.
Slow, monotonous horror rather than jump scares.
Have they made a horror movie about parents' sleep deprivation? I feel like that's an untapped source. But
there you go, Jason Blum, get on this.
I feel like there is. I feel like there has been something.
There could be another one, Nate. It's okay. They can have more than one. There's multiple witch movies.
Okay, true. Yes. True. Yes.
Normally the ones with it's either the kid is evil or it's before they're born.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They're missing that level in between.
You got Prevenge. Right. Prevenge is solidly in the before camp. Yeah. Usually the babies get a little bit older before they're insanely creepy. Right. They get to at least 5. So yeah, there's a big gap between birth and 5.
Yeah. There's some space to play there, I think.
Probably because you can't actually get a baby to act. It's probably the reason for that. It's 2-year-old. Go start crying, and then that's the only time they're not crying. The entire time on
repeal
set.
the labor laws.
But babies cry constantly. It would be fine. Look, I got it.
They can act in those.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it for less than $50,000 million, like they always need. Yeah. I need $1,000. Okay, and it's just an hour and a half of babies crying. That's a horror movie right there.
Yeah, that sounds like some Darren Aronofsky would put his name on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother 2. Mother 2.
The Aftermath.
Yeah, Mother 2, The Aftermath. Yes. Instead of Jennifer Lawrence, you get.
They shouldn't say The Afterbirth, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Nope. See, dodge that nicely.
This is why you win the People's Choice, Nate. And I got
the lack of using the word afterbirth really bumps me up in the Q rating.
As it should, as in our key demographic.
So Lisa, other than that was a negative, I believe Mitch asked for a positive.
Oh yes, I did. So easy to get sucked into the negatives. Yeah, it's Lisa. A positive from this year for the show.
We got to do one of my favorites, Edward Scissorhands, and I got to host the podcast.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, go back, listen to 2 episodes ago, Edward Scissorhands. Yeah. It's a good one.
Lisa, you should.
Hopefully, we do more unsuspecting victim-friendly ones in 2021. And as Nate said, ones that we can actually genuinely say, "Oh, you can watch this with your children."
You can watch a lot with your children. It's just whether you should. That's the question. Let's not.
What kind of life do you want your kids to have? You know what I mean? If you don't care.
Look, if you want them to turn out like Mitch, start watching horror movies with them now.
Like Mom.
I don't know if I want to be the poster child for the horror movie industry.
Sorry, it's gonna be Dad. Dad, I'm learning about bugs in in school, and then all of a sudden Mitch is like, "Oh, let's just watch Human Centipede." I mean, that could be an option.
Yeah, that one wouldn't happen. I would have done Eight-Legged Freaks, obviously, Nate.
It's David Arquette and
both of those are a hell no.
History. I don't know.
Or Arachnophobia.
Ready to Rumble,
right?
Eight-Legged Freaks. Scream 3. Those are all your
Scream. Yeah, all the. Me and Dave. We need David Arquette on the show. We need to chat with him.
And Spree. He was in Spree.
He was in Spree. Oh my God, he was in Spree. Oh, I love that movie. Nate, what about you? What positives for you this year with the show, or in general?
Positives.
Horror in general.
I mean, a lot of movies came out on streaming services. Shudder got even better this year.
Yeah,
actually way better this year. The quality of films that they had, exclusives and the ones they purchased from film festivals and whatnot, got a lot better. So Shudder is now awesome. Yep. So that's good. And then
note this real quick. And this episode's actually not sponsored by Shudder. We know we've had a few this year, which has been good, but we're not paid to say that. That was just we just really like Shudder. Shudder's been very good this year. I agree. They've got a lot of good content.
So that's been great.
Even been good to me, and that's saying something.
Yeah, because you
they got Jawbreaker.
Jawbreaker. Well, no, but they got what's that show?
History of Witches.
A History of Witches. And season 2 is coming out. They just announced early next year. So
I'm excited for that.
But sorry, Nate, I jumped in. What were you?
No, they added a bunch of Giallo stuff this year too, which I like. So it was awesome. And then I guess in general, I mean, streaming stuff, obviously. Most of the big movies that I looked at last year's survey and the movies that people were really excited about, almost none of them came out this year, right? Like Candyman, Halloween Kills, Antlers, Saint Maud, all those just got all pushed. Some stuff still came out on streaming, like Lodge came out on Hulu. There's streaming. So streaming was just huge this year, which makes sense. But I think for some of the smaller films, it's not so bad. For the bigger films, obviously, it doesn't make any sense. But for the smaller films, so there's a lot of smaller films that hit streaming that might not have this year. Things like 1BR that got a little bit more run, because there's nothing to compete against, and they got it on streaming, and that was kind of awesome. So some of the smaller movies got a little bit more publicity, which I thought was really cool. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and a huge shout out to some of the movie festivals like Fantastic Fest converted to a full virtual experience, which I think was pretty awesome. I still would want to go to an in-person sitting in the theater because that's part of the fun of film festivals. But I think having that kind of fan base and having like the chat there, people could talk beforehand, trying to do as much of that same experience is really cool. Salem Horror Fest did a very similar thing, which was really cool. Hats off to a lot of these folks that were able to come up with something that really helped. I think take your mind just off, the existential, shit we're dealing with, but also just to help a lot of these new short. I mean, we saw a lot of great shorts this year. A lot of great.
I became obsessed with horror shorts for a whole month afterward. I was like, I got to find all of them.
Yeah, they were all fantastic. So, well, look, with that said, Nate, I think I'm ready to get into these survey results. I think as we go through the questions, I'd love to talk about, our favorites. I guess our answers to the survey results as well. Now, I didn't fill in a survey. Nate, I'm assuming you filled in 20 as different names.
I'm checking. I'm
going to check all the names and IP addresses of these results.
Sure. You're not going to be happy about some of these answers, Mitch.
That's not great. That's not. All right. Well, where do you want to start, Nate? For those listening, Nate creates a survey, which I guess is part of why the results are always so favorable for you. I feel like maybe it's worded in a certain way. I noticed you put the which is less creepy. Well, it's the way you structure the sentence, right? You say like, here's one: Are you team attic or team basement? And I noticed which is less creepy is always closest to basement. Like you're
it's
implicitly
in alphabetical
implying,
order. Oh,
I you know what? How the survey is written is
I'll
important.
do it the reverse next year. Just
okay. Thank you.
It will not change anything.
It won't.
Because 83% Team Basement for 17% Team Attic.
Now, how many of your family responded to the survey?
I don't think very many. I don't think very many on this. I don't think any, to be honest. But yeah, the Team Basement. I'll take the People's Choice Award for Team Basement. That's fine.
No, you know what? We need to have if you answer for Basement, you have to, either way, we need to start asking people to fill in why. Because I still think people are confused about what the question is.
You don't believe it.
I think that people
don't believe it.
I don't believe it because I feel like people are they're like Team Basement. Oh, does that mean I'm for basements being more creepy? Then yeah, I'm Team Basement. I still think people are. It's just a confusing question. We've set this up for.
If you look at our where we kind of get our downloads, we do have quite a few people from up north. So the more northern you are, usually the more basement.
Look like the guy in the Jimmy Dean complaint video. I'm not from the north. Okay. Also, just I hate to say this, but I want Team Basement to win so much. I'm even okay if we got some Idaho votes. I'm even okay with that, I must say. So hopefully Idaho came strong with the Team Basement. Only thing they're good for. So thoughts, Lisa, thoughts on this?
On Attic versus Basement?
Well, yeah. I mean, are you surprised?
And the overwhelming nature.
Are you stunned? Are all the votes in? Can I ask that? Are the mail-in ballots still out there?
No, it's
did
not.
We stop the count
not.
Prematurely?
It's electronic. There is no identification needed for this at all. So
I'm going neutral on this one. I'm going don't go to the basement or the attic.
So are you surprised by the results? I guess that this year. Because we have
even more. It had won before, but not.
See, I think maybe next year, I think we need to say did we have a month? And I like this that we're going to do a theme month where we have attics versus basements. Should we really say who had the better case? Maybe that's how we need to.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the only way you have any chance, then sure. I mean, that makes total sense.
God, you know what? How do I mute you? How do I just? Can I just mute your mic from here? Remotely?
Oh man! All right. Question 2: which host do you agree with most on the debate question of the week? The winner. So the winner was me. With a resounding 66%.
I would. Okay, again, I need more background. We need to start asking more probing questions. What does this even mean? What host? I need to start screening these questions before you send them out there. What host do you agree with?
I don't know. I don't know. First of all, I'd like to thank the Academy.
I feel like I just got slimed. I feel like I just got slimed. Well, this is I demand a recount.
And Lisa, look, think about this. You were not in very many episodes this year because of your maternity leave. And yet you still tied Mitch in terms of debate question performance. So that's even worse for Mitch if you look at it that way. Mitch had more chances to make his case and still tied. So just gonna
this is rigged.
Skip to the next one.
I've got.
I haven't heard that in so long. Oh,
I mean, that's that. What else can I say? Just sad. I feel like I've been let down. I feel like I've let y'all down. Apparently, I pledge to do better. I don't know why I've messed up. That I will redeem myself.
It's not good if you don't know why. I don't know how you're going to change.
I don't know, Nate. I noticed those responses aren't in here. So how would I ever?
Okay.
Let me know at Texas Podcast Massacre, gmail.com, TX Pod Massacre. I want to hear.
Mitch is like,
I will say someone did respond a week ago because maybe it's because they just don't agree with my movie ratings, because there was one of them where I was like, yeah, so you're saying I'm right? Oh God, I can't remember, but anyway, yeah.
I don't even know what's happening.
I think it was because I like Santa Jaws, or I didn't like it. I gave it like a better review than y'all.
I did not care for it.
We're aware.
Did not care. You had the audacity to give it a 4 out of 10. And that was apparently too much, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. It was because we had the debate question about the greatest scream queen of all time. And at the MTV Movie Awards, Jamie Lee Curtis, who I picked, won that award. So I shared it and I said, oh, does that mean Mitch actually won this week's debate question? And then one of our listeners, Nick, said Mitch also defended Santa Jaws and said Edward Scissorhands is emo Freddy Krueger. And I just said, good point. Good point. I'm 3 out of 3.
I don't know about that. Not for us. Emo Freddy Krueger. Nope. Can't agree with that one.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
That apparently this year, that's the hill that I died on. So there we go.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah. Edward Scissorhands is a strange hill to die on, as Anthony Michael Hall learned in that movie. It is not the best. Okay. So the next question, this is the Lisa special, because we're going to try to get Lisa for more episodes. So this really impacts her. What horror movie do you want to see reviewed in early 2021? That's right. We're calling out for the requests.
Now, yeah, so there's confusion. I want to make sure people are clear on this. If you leave a review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere where you can leave us a review that helps people find the podcast, it just moves your review up the list. We're going to take your reviews. We're going to talk about the movie you want to see. It just we may have to it becomes more shiftable. Is that a good way to say it? So send us your review. Even if you don't give us a review, you can send in your requests. We'll always take those and we'll always do them. It just scheduling may.
Well, hold on. If request a movie that looks absolutely garbage, we might not get to that. Unless if you give us a 5-star review on an Apple Podcast, it will 100% be reviewed.
Yes,
we did The Shed. Okay, and we did Deadly Detention, and we did The Shed.
I would watch The Shed 100 times before I watched Gretel and Hansel again. Anyone who has that movie in their top 10 list, just unfollow them. They're not giving you good advice whatsoever.
Man, you hate it so much.
Hate it. The only movie worse was The Suckling.
The Suckling is one of I had. Yeah. The Suckling.
Anyway, all right. So here's Lisa. Here's what did the people want?
So we got a wide variety of requests. Some people put in more than one. You know what? I never said you can't put in more than one. So the winner, because of a tiebreaker with someone who put multiple, the winner is the last film that Mitch and I saw in the theater this year is Invisible Man. So we'll be reviewing Invisible Man.
Excellent. So that'll be coming out.
Cool.
Next month. At least I think you'll actually enjoy that one. So
yeah.
And well, okay. And because that one won, I'm gonna propose an interesting twist to that when we get into our top 10 list later. So Stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Someone requested Human Centipede. Does that count, Mitch, to put on the list?
I mean, at the very, very bottom of the list, sure.
Yeah, look, as I said, we will review a movie you request, whether we do it we probably won't do it
Look. Team Basement, all that energy to get such a huge margin of victory needs to then be thrown over to multiple Apple Podcast 5-star reviews to make it just unassailable that we have to do.
Hey, isn't the lab where he sews their faces to the other person's butt in a basement?
I don't know. I've never seen Human Centipede before. I think I saw the first 15 minutes, and I was like, you know what, I'm good on this.
Lisa and I almost. Lisa,
I'm the one requesting it, but
Lisa and I almost walked into a movie theater based on we saw the poster. We were on a date night and we were walking around in downtown Houston by the old Heights Theater and saw the poster. I'm like, oh, you want to go see that? She goes, and Lisa, being a wonderful, this is for the podcast, wonderful wife she is, was like, oh yeah, sure. We go. Maybe let's see what it's about. See if I can handle it. I went and watched the trailer and I was like, oh no, we
trailers ruin everything.
Dodged trailers a bullet.
Ruin everything.
Yeah. What else? So Terrifier's on here. Now I've seen Terrifier. Nate, have you seen Terrifier?
No, I have not. That's the clown one.
That's the clown one. I watched it because I was like, oh, maybe I'll share this with.
That guy's got a long, skinny face.
The actor is great. The movie,
that is good.
It's got one kill that is way over the top for sure.
I don't like that someone misspelled clowns and killer clowns. It's a K. All right. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the response, but can we get our K's in order here? This is one that Lisa would hate. I Spit on Your Grave was requested, but they didn't only request one version. They requested two versions, the original and the remake, and comparing them. I think that's actually a great idea, but maybe not for that movie. Maybe for another one.
Yeah.
I actually like that idea a lot. And we'll probably do that this year.
Someone requested Scrooged, which unfortunately we're only getting this now because we probably could have done that.
Scrooge would have been great. We're going to put that on the list for like December.
Yeah.
Of next year. I'm putting it on the list. It's right. I need to scroll down.
That's great. Lisa, we actually just watched Scrooge.
Yeah. I just watched it for the first time.
Oh.
First time. Ooh. All right.
Yeah. It was good.
Oh, Nate, Unfriended Dark Web.
We already did Unfriended Dark Web.
Did we do an episode or did we just go watch it?
No, we did an episode.
Well, there you go. Whoever requested that, it's out there. Go look.
I'm almost positive we did. Hold on. Am I lying here? I'm pretty sure we did.
We might have.
I'm almost positive we did. I'm almost positive.
If it's not there, I'll make Nate watch it again.
No, I don't want to. I don't.
I'll make him watch it a third time if the people want it.
Can I just watch Host It? Yes, it was episode 63.
Oh my God.
Episode 63, Unfriended Dark Web, titled Betty White is in the sequel. I don't remember that conversation, but it sounds like it was fantastic.
We were just horror podcast babies back then.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
Right.
And then so that those are good. And the next question was, and this is even more of a Lisa. What non-horror movie would you like to see reviewed in early 2021? I'm pretty sure the same person put Scrooged in both. Someone really wants Scrooged. And that's fine. And that's fine.
Yeah. We can definitely do that one. I'm down for that.
Yeah. So Scrooge is on. I already put it on the list. It's already there. So we got requests for someone just put Harry Potter for Lisa.
Oh,
so that was nice.
Thank you.
So a movie called Chairman of the Board starring Carrot Top.
All right.
Which seems like an absolute winner for me. Any Harry Potter movie. So Harry Potter is locked in.
For Chairman of the Board, can we do a double feature of that in Biodome with Pauly Shore?
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Have you never seen Biodome with Pauly Shore?
Unfortunately, yes. I've always hated Pauly Shore. I somehow saw all of his movies. I always hated that guy so much.
I feel like y'all two would have been best friends.
In the Army Now, right?
Yeah.
Is that one? There's an Army one?
Yeah, that's with Andy Dick.
The fact that I even saw those.
Andy Dick's the normal one in that one. Like he's the straight guy in, like there's always like the those buddy comedy kind of movies. He's like it's basically Stripes. And Andy Dick is supposed to be the Harold Ramis.
I did not know you liked Pauly Shore. My opinion of you just went down
That's a lie because it can't get much. It couldn't have gotten much lower than when we started.
It's pretty high. It went down a marginal amount.
So yeah, we've got double Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is certainly
Harry Potter's on the list. That's it.
I think it would have happened this year. It had at least been able to be with us for a little bit more.
And it's Lisa's pick. Yeah. So Lisa gets to pick which Harry Potter movie, obviously.
Oh, that's
whatever one you think is the most horror based also might work, or just dealer's choice, Lisa. So you got something to think about.
Yeah.
But either way, Harry Potter's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
We have one DC pick and one Marvel pick.
Yeah, we do have.
Yeah. Batman versus Superman on the DC side. Because it's so bad, there's a lot of O's and so. I saw that in the theater, unfortunately.
So HBO Max is gonna release the Snyder cut of Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Great. I have as much interest in that as I do Pauly Shore movies.
Yeah, you hate superhero movies.
I don't.
We should definitely do it.
I like some.
The only one that I know that you liked was
I like Blade.
The horror movie. Right. Oh, and Blade.
I like Blade. That one's good.
What's the horror movie one? I'm blanking on the name of it. For Superman, but if he was like a psychopath.
What?
The kid.
What?
He like.
Oh, the kid.
Oh, Brightburn.
Brightburn. Thank you.
That wasn't really a superhero movie in the same vein. In the same vein as all those other ones.
Nate, it was Smallville but horror. Come on, don't give me that. All right, let's move on.
Okay, and Infinity War, Avengers: Infinity War was on there, and that actually is kind of like a slasher film. Like Thanos is essentially just rolling over people. And you're just like, I can't do anything. He's just rolling everyone. Of course, then it all gets undone later. But hey, it's all good. Until that happens, it's great. And there's a few other requests here. Ghostbusters. I feel like we can only do one Bill Murray
haven't
movie.
done Ghostbusters?
No, we have not.
Really?
Now, were they specific? I guess they went this first one and not the second one.
I'll do both.
I love both. For some reason, I just enjoy the second one more sometimes. I don't think it's a better movie.
You always love the second one. It's not a better
movie. I just enjoy it more.
Mitch is just like always loves the Gremlins.
I'm a corporate shill and how
Gremlins, Ghostbusters.
Not Jurassic Park. Not Jurassic Park. Aliens. Aliens, yes. I enjoy more than Aliens. It's not that they're better. Again, I want it to be clear. I enjoy them more. It's not the same as it's a better movie. That is not what I'm saying.
So what I'm hearing from this is if this is our 2021 list, it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, it's going to be good so far. Especially when those Human Centipede reviews start coming in Apple Podcasts, then we'll really get in there.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Is it sad to say that if that makes it on the list, I'm tempted to have another baby just for the maternity leave to get out of it?
Discuss.
There's a lot of logistics questions around that we've got to. I think I'll have a lot of questions about. I don't know that you're going to be able to pinpoint.
Are you talking about the Human Centipede part or the baby part?
Both, if I'm being honest.
Logistically, they're both very challenging.
Lisa, you have some friends who are doctors, and we might have to bring them on the show for if we do Human Centipede.
Yes,
I have see how a lot of inappropriate medical questions to ask about this movie.
I'm sure you do.
How much anus sewing have you done in your medical career? First question, right off the bat. Just get it. Get going. Okay, the next question on the survey. What is your favorite part of the podcast? People say the debate question. People are liking the debate questions for the most part. So
good.
That's good. The debate is great. People like our conversation. Someone said the final cut, which is hilarious because it's like the very end and it's just the review score. Someone who likes numbers, just like me, appreciate that. Some people said theme months.
And we did a lot of that this year, so I'm glad.
Someone said when movies are very bad. I actually have a huge list of terrible movies that I compiled in the last few days for next year. So I'm sorry, Mitch.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that apparently tends to like these bad movies. You're the one.
Birdemic's got a sequel that we haven't even touched yet.
Are we doing Thanksgiving 3.
Thanksgiving 3. There is no Thanksgiving 2.
Troll 2.
It's the Troll 2 with no troll. It's very similar. So we got more bad movies coming. Amazon Prime is just a hotbed. We went through it during our Santa Jaws episode.
You go to Shudder for pretty, from decent to good horror content. You go to Amazon Prime for hot garbage.
Killer Sofa. That's all you
What's
need
the
to know.
the Lamageddon? It
was Ghost Sharks 2 Urban Sharks, or what was, I'm trying to remember what.
Right.
It was great. There's multiple Ghost Shark movies on Amazon Prime. That's right, Lisa. Ghost Sharks. You can't stop it.
Oh my God.
How do you stop that?
Now,
Exactly.
Lisa, someone sadly mentioned the debate question. That part's not sad, but they really love that we have the Willem Dafoe.
Oh my God, that is on
specifically
there.
because Lisa hates so much. So now I'm at because every year we change.
Yes.
Every year we change out most of our drops. I mean, literally, it's just the debate question drop.
Don't tell me you're not going to change it.
No, continue.
I mean,
That's not nice.
I don't know. I got to give the people what they want. The person what they want, and
Not
we didn't.
nice.
Maybe we need to ask more questions. Get real specific. No, that's awesome. No, we're good. Someone did put the podcast LOL, which makes me think that was a joke.
Well, as long as you answered our survey, I don't care. Thank you so much for answering the survey. All right, what new thing do you want to see on the podcast?
Okay.
People are wanting more non-horror films and make the argument about how they're technically horror movies.
Okay.
So we already got Scrooged and Harry Potter coming to the mix.
So we do. We just don't do.
We're going to be hitting those
yeah.
more.
That's good. I mean, I think we had that plan this year. Yeah, we just didn't want to exclude Lisa from it because that's the whole point of why we have it's hard. It was admittedly harder this year to get a whole bunch of new unsuspecting victims. So that kind of put a little bit of those plans in play. But that's good. We'll.
Oh, you mean no one's a sucker like me? I mean, I didn't say it, but
and then they also wanted more songs. Nate, get your ass on the ball. So Nate, I'll brag on Nate a little bit here. Nate does pretty much all the lyrics for all of the ones we have. We actually have a few we haven't released videos for that I need to get on the ball with. So I do all the back end production side. Nate's our word wizard when it comes to that stuff. So if you like the haikus, if you like the,
I need to put that on a business card. Word wizard.
Nate's a level 10 when it comes to. Is that a good level? I don't play Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know. I thought I was like, what is it? Is it Hufflepuff? Are those the word wizards? Now I'm thinking of Harry Potter all the time with his wizard.
This show is very much Crazy Ira and the douche from Parks and Rec, except I'm more what I really want to be in real life is the dude that does the drops in the background. Just that's so fast. That's largely my role with the show.
So just those things people would want to see on the podcast. So songs, a couple with songs. Unsuspecting victims, maybe being fans. Not sure. We'll have to see. We're gonna integrate something along those lines this year because multiple people have asked for that. Not sure how we're gonna do it, but maybe a segment, maybe something like that. We're gonna see.
Yeah, we want to figure something out that's fair and repeatable. What I don't want to get in the habit of we bring one person on the show for like a whole episode. And then the next few times, it's like, we can only have you on for like this little thing. I want to make sure it's,
Yeah. And I'm assuming Mitch is going to screen them all to make sure that they like his debate performances better.
I don't care about that, but all you basement lovers out there can just piss off because it's not happening. But if you're pro addict, we'd love to have you.
Oh, that's awesome. But we're going to look into something along those lines for sure. Because multiple people have asked about that. And then another thing is maybe get people ask some questions or put the debate topic or Q&A before episodes and answer some of those, and we'll probably start doing that. I think that we've done that a couple of times, Mitch, but we can try to do that more often so we can get some good responses in before the episode. Yeah. So we'll look to do that too. So these great suggestions. Let's get into the actual horror films and we can get into our favorites.
Of course.
Lisa, did you make a list of horror films that you like this year?
Hell no.
I didn't think so.
What did I even watch this year? I'm so sleep deprived. I don't even know what I watched. Did It Chapter 2 come out this year?
No, that was
last year, right?
But you saw Host? Did Lisa see Host, Mitch?
No.
No.
Did you see 1BR?
No.
Oh my God.
I'm behind.
This could be trouble. Did you see Babysitter Killer Queen?
No.
You watched The Hunt?
Did you watch The Hunt?
I did watch The Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
What was the one in the like pseudo Halloween horror house, Mitch?
The Mortuary Collection?
No. The pseudo Halloween.
They like go to a haunted house, but it turns out bad.
Oh, I think it's literally called Haunt. It's on Shudder.
Okay, Haunt. I saw that.
Haunt. Okay.
I saw Scare Me.
You did watch Scare Me, yeah?
That was a good one. I saw Scrooged, which we're going to add to the list now.
Well, apparently it's a horror film. You said Scrooged, so now.
Hey, there's parts that are pretty creepy. I don't know. I didn't watch much this year. Thank goodness.
Yeah, you avoided a good bit this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, well, no, I take that back because I watched some of Fantastic Fest with you too.
Yeah, but I don't think you watched many of the horror entries. Maybe some of the
I thought I watched at least one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it was by design. Nice job, Lisa. Just dodging them everywhere.
It was easy. All I had to do. Oh, the baby's crying. I gotta go.
It's like Mitch's like, I don't hear anything. Oh, it's mom.
It's mom ears. I hear the higher frequencies. That's
Well, you watched The Platform. That was this year.
I did watch The Platform,
okay,
and I've been hearing you and Nate talk about The Platform since Fantastic Fest 2019. So
Mitch is obsessed.
You did not watch The Lodge.
No, I did not watch The Lodge.
Oh, you saw Freaky?
Freaky, yes.
Okay, you've seen a bunch.
One.
Okay, you got it.
I've seen quite a few. There was another Fantastic Fest one that you guys saw that I finally saw. I'm blanking on that though. But yeah, I saw quite a few.
Tammy and the T-Rex?
Nah.
Yes, I did see Tammy and the T-Rex.
Which is the best. All right, so for our listeners, it was very spread out on this one. But the winner, Gretel and Hansel got a vote, by the way. Mitch, I just want to let you know that only one, but a vote was cast for Gretel and Hansel. I just want to let you know that.
Hold on. I keep talking, but I'm doing.
So the winner, and it was very close. There's tons of things didn't get very many votes apart. But the winner of the favorite horror film of 2020 from our listeners was Host, which was kind of like the first streaming kind of viral, film, during the pandemic, right? This was came out in about June or so. Man, that movie's good. So that was the winner. Yeah, it was very close. Runners up, Babysitter Killer Queen, An Invisible Man. So that's all. The Babysitter. Would not have expected that.
We also really did not care for that one.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one as much. And then obviously Gretel Hansel gets the symbolic. Mitch hated it, so I have to vote for it. From somebody apparently. What was your favorite horror TV show of 2020? So not only were there lots of horror movies that came out despite everything happening, but actually horror TV shows kind of got a lot of run this year also. The winner for this one is actually a tie somehow between American Horror Story and The Haunting of Bly Manor. Mitch, did you catch either of those this year?
I did not catch Bly Manor.
Okay, but American Horror Story, you guys are still in on it, Lisa?
Yeah, we're kind of behind. We started the camp one, but we haven't
1984. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did watch the second season of Castle Rock.
Oh, okay.
That was this year, right?
Yep.
Yes, it got canceled.
Yeah, that one was
it was last year, but it got canceled.
Oh, was it last year? Okay, yeah.
Yes, it got canceled this year.
Yeah, American Horror Story. I mean, I know they're coming with another season, so that'll be interesting. I'm so curious how long it's gonna keep running. But,
apparently, it is still going. It's like that and The Walking Dead. You just can't stop them.
So, it didn't give any votes. So I guess you want to go back over our favorite TV shows and movies this year, Nate, or?
Well, yeah, I have a whole list for the movies.
Oh,
for
Christ.
TV shows,
right,
for me, no, just for TV shows for me though, What We Do in the Shadows. I had not seen either of the seasons and I watched both of those this year. And
The Vampire Council is fantastic.
It was great. It was really solid. That's a good show.
No, Lisa, I think you kind of fell off that one. Is that right?
I did see the Vampire Council though. I've seen episodes here and there of that one.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It's got a kind of a weird pacing. It's really funny, but I think you've kind of got to really just dig into it.
Yeah.
The Energy Vampire episode was
it's very reminiscent of like first season The Office in terms of like the BBC version, like in terms of the pacing and the type of comedy and all that,
which I love.
Yeah, so, if you're really into that, then this show's great. Man, the show that I absolutely loved was Lovecraft Country. I really enjoyed it. I saw some review recently where they mentioned the pacing was too fast, so you don't really care about the characters, and I don't know that I really agreed with that. It could have been slower, sure, but I thought it was well done. I thought that they did a good job balancing sort of, like the old X-Files monster creature feature type episodes with the overall different stories. So they were able to do like a different type of pulp comic type of theme in each episode. And I thought it was just very well acted. I thought, it was interesting putting all this in, kind of dealing with all like the racial tensions at the time, especially since H.P. Lovecraft was a noted racist.
It's based on a book that has nothing to do with him. So I don't know why that person made that in the title. It's so weird.
But Lovecraft Country or?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Lovecraft.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same type of horror, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Because he's synonymous
so
with that horror. Yeah, but
I mean, it's one way to sell books. Hey,
I enjoyed the show. I mean, it was on HBO, so yeah. Unless you have, with all the people mad canceling after Game of Thrones ended the way it did, I'm sure people missed out on this one.
I did. After Game of Thrones is over, I'm like, well, that's it. Thanks for nothing.
I fell out of. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I fell out of Sabrina. Actually, it was good up until they started singing and everything a whole lot.
Season 3 was not as good as the first.
It's a show that I feel like they didn't really quite know what they. I think they started off one direction for the show in the first season, and the first season is great. And then I don't know if maybe there was just too much meddling from like Netflix or from whatever. It started changing tone too much. And like then there's, I mean, like even the original ants are now back on the show in this new season. I don't know. I've kind of fallen off of it, but
yeah, season 3 was a little harder to watch, and then the last season 4 is coming out on New Year's Eve. No. So I'm still gonna watch it, but yeah, I did. Season 3 was not great. I'm hoping they can end it in a little better way.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Do you want to go through your movies, Mitch?
Yeah. So why don't we? How do you want to do it? You want to go 10, 9, go up the top, or?
Sure. So you have a top 10
in my head, notionally.
Oh God. All right. Well, this year we don't have to worry about film festival movies.
Yeah,
as much,
that helps.
Like last year. So I always like to make sure that we put in the top 10 movies that other people can actually see. We've gotten a bunch of screeners and other things from people throughout the year. But if you can't see it, then why are we telling you about it? Right. Like,
I agree.
Oh, this is so cool. Like if we were to like the platform, how long did it take the platform to come out? Like 10 months or something?
Yeah.
From when we saw it or whatever. I mean, you know.
Well, I'm trying to get you excited.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So what is your number 10?
Man, my number 10 this year, I'm going to say Color Out of Space.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it. Again, I like the Lovecraftian type stuff. It's got a little bit of Nick Cage rage. It's got weird Nick Cage acting more than it has Cage rage.
It's got weird
enunciation and accents.
Yes.
But
strange.
But overall, it's good. I actually enjoyed it the second time around even more than the first. But I think the first I was just hammered. So
yeah, we were very hammered.
We were very hammered when we thought we were getting Cage rage for that movie.
And
so
it was
we
not the same vibe.
Yeah,
the vibe was way different.
Yeah, a little bit more laid back than I was expecting. What about you, Nate? Yeah.
My number 10 was the Mortuary Collection.
Oh, that low. Okay.
Yeah. So so I missed that at Fantastic Fest last year.
I did too, actually. Yeah,
it was there. Yeah, same as Color Out of Space, but it was released this year and it's on Shudder. It's one of the better horror anthologies I've seen in a while. It was good. The overall through line was good. The final kind of story was real good. We'll get into that in the My Girl section. Yikes. It was good. Yeah, it's a very, very good, like, you know, very upper level horror anthology series, which is really hard to pull off. There's so many horror anthologies, right? But this is one of definitely the better ones.
Yeah. My number 9 was Hosts with an S. So this was the UK film that we actually got reached out to by I think the same production company involved in 1BR. Or not the same production company, but the same distributor or whatever. But man, really solid film. Really, it was under the radar. A lot of times when we get sort of review requests, sometimes they're a little bit more indie, which is cool. This one was very, we watched the trailer and I think you and I were both pretty kind of blown away. And the movie's very good.
It's got one of the most brutal story into murder scenes that's ever existed. I felt so bad when one kill happened. I've felt so terrible.
Yeah, I think wow. and I think our review, I was like, this just felt mean. And I think that's the point.
But in a good way.
Yeah, it's the point. But yeah, you're like, yeah. Anyway.
Dang. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good pick.
You sound shocked.
No, I was surprised to hear that one, but that was a good film. It did not make
take that, people who don't agree with me.
My number 9 was also a Shudder movie. It's Spiral.
Are we on 9? You did 9, okay.
Yeah, so that's number 9. So Spiral, not to be confused with the Chris Rock Jigsaw movie, Book of Spiral or whatever that's called. Which is coming out next year. But Spiral, it's about a gay couple who moves out to the country with one of the guys has like a teenage daughter, and the one of the guys is just like convinced that everyone in this kind of small neighborhood or in a small town is out to get them and wants to move back to the city. And that resonates with me a lot because I grew up in a smaller town area and I prefer cities. So I was like, oh yeah, I get that. It's on Shudder. So just check it out on Shudder. It's a good one. I don't want to spoil anything, but it gets pretty crazy. And it's kind of got a little bit of a Get Out-ish feel. Okay. Which is, I don't want to give anything away necessarily, but it's got that kind of a feel. It's pretty solid. Much lower budget. No real known actors or anything like that. But it's like a nice, solid, smaller movie. All right, what's your number 8, Mitch? What's your number 8?
Man, my number 8, because I'm doing this off the top of my head. I'm going to go with 1BR.
That's what mine is.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, we felt
nice.
Great film. Naomi Grossman's fantastic in it. I mean, the the lead, I'm blanking on her name, but she was. I mean, this is like her first like major film, and she crushed it. Really interesting film. Had no real assumption of what it was going to be when we walked into it. Wasn't expecting what we got, but I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the music video you and I did for it.
Yes. Neighbor Eyes.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Hall & Oates.
But it was good.
That's Lisa. That's one that you would like. I think you should check that one out.
Yeah, I want to. I just haven't had a chance.
I have the Blu-ray.
When I have free time, believe it or not, Nate, when I have free time, watching random horror movies is not top on my list, unfortunately.
That is absolutely fair. Yeah.
Is Gilmore Girls horror? Because if so, then
dude, if you have a sensitivity to high-pitched sounds, Gilmore Girls could be the most terrifying thing in the history of the world.
What if you're afraid of coffee?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of fast talking, you are in trouble. Yeah, high-pitched fast talking, man. I'm surprised like dogs haven't gone deaf watching Gilmore Girls. That's surprising to me. Okay, what's your number 7, Mitch?
My number 7. Oh man, I think. Man, I'm trying to remember. It's hard when you didn't actually, prepare anything.
That's difficult. That makes it more difficult. Yeah.
Oh God, this year went on for so long. How come? Hold on. I don't know. Why don't you go your number 7? Let me think.
Okay, my number 7 is actually a double. This is totally cheating, but my number 7 is Invisible Man / Swallow. So this is my idea. We review Invisible Man, but we review it as a double feature with the movie Swallow. Lisa, here is the synopsis of Swallow. A woman becomes pregnant. I don't even want to know. A woman becomes pregnant and kind of freaks out and starts swallowing all manner of non-digestible objects, increasing in intensity as the movie goes on. Does that sound appealing to you at all? There is kind of a reason, actually, that becomes apparent in the film. You've already
seen this?
Yes. Yeah. So that's why it's my number 7.
Of course, I've
seen it. But this Swallow and Invisible Man are actually very similar movies coming from different directions, but meeting in the middle. It's actually like a really great double feature.
You were so weird.
It's a good movie.
Did you ever hear that I guess it's a song as a kid, the lady that swallowed a fly? I don't know why she swallowed a fly. So then she like swallows a spider to swallow the fly. Then she swallows a cat to get the spider. Then that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. So the spider in this is an earring, and the other one's like a paperweight or something. She swallows a lot of crazy shit in this movie.
How though?
It's possible, and apparently people have done it. So when they get pregnant, anyway. That's my number 7. It is a cheat. It is a tie. It is a double.
I know I said I didn't want to be on video tonight, but no one can see my outraged face right now.
Yeah.
So what the heck?
You just can't swallow my answers.
All right.
Moving on.
So I think my number 7 would be We Summon the Darkness. This came out on Netflix this year. Now this was one that I did see at a Fantastic Fest last year. On second viewing, it's good. I don't think there's anything there that's like super unique about it, but I do think the performances are good. Johnny Knoxville has a pretty interesting role in this film. It's a little bit close to like the Satanic Panic type of stuff. I liked it. Check it out on Netflix. But yeah, I'd put that 7, I think.
Okay. My number 6 is La Llorona. It is a movie about someone, a general being tried for war crimes against the Mayans.
Now, to be clear, this is the James Wan.
No. This is a different,
no, I'm kidding.
Entirely
this
different movie.
This is the one that's on Shudder.
If it's anything in the Conjuring universe, it's probably never going to be in my top 10. So I'm just going to throw that out there right now. No, La Llorona in this one is there's a general being tried for war crimes, and he's on trial, and a bunch of other generals that were helping him are on trial, and he gets a new house made. Spoiler alert, it's La Llorona because he actually did the things that he's accused of, but the things that he does are worse than you even think. And it's more of a drama necessarily than a horror film, but the horror elements that come in, especially toward the end, and are a little sprinkled throughout are enough where I count it as a horror film. It's real good. If it's not a movie that's going to make you feel good, that's for sure. Most of these aren't, but that one definitely won't make you feel good afterward. And that's a Shudder. That's a Shudder movie as well. Real good. Highly recommend it.
My number is 5, right?
Number 6.
We're all 6.
Sorry.
Okay, no, we're good.
We flipped. Sorry. In the order that we were going.
Okay. So it's 6 now. Yeah. My 6 is a movie called Sea Fever. So this is on Hulu. It is very good. Very reminiscent to The Thing. This is about a fishing boat. They cross over this weird thing over water, and a parasite basically gets on. And so it's a lot of very Thing-esque in that there's a lot of, is this person infected? Is it all in their head? Is this kind of, it's pretty good. I can see why it's probably not going to have mainstream appeal, but if you're a big fan of The Thing, I would really highly recommend checking it out. It's actually very good. I really enjoyed it. I think it's on Hulu. Yeah,
it was on my list. I did not get to it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
it reminded me. There was a movie that came out maybe a couple of years ago, Lisa, that we did see that had like oh man, I'm blanking on names today. Deadpool.
You mean Buried?
Ooh, not Buried, but that's also a great movie.
the right.
No, this is the one where they're in space and there's a parasite that busts out.
Oh, Life.
It's got a very similar vibe to Life. I would probably, if you put the two together, I might rate Life a little above Sea Fever, but barely. I mean, they're very similar in terms of content, but very good. Okay. Definitely worth checking out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that one out. My number 5. So I'm going from La Llorona, from Guatemala, going all the way to Indonesia for this next one, in Pedagore. It's from the same director as Satan's Slaves, which is a freaking good movie. Both are on Shudder. This is another Shudder one. Shudder crushed it this year. There's a woman working in a toll booth, who's an orphan. In the very beginning of the movie, a guy tries to murder her in her toll booth.
As one does.
She figures out that that person came from a town where she might have been from, tries to go there and claim this old house, this huge house, to try to claim it and sell it so that she can get money for her and her friend's business. And it is rough. I'll get into a little bit of spoilers in the My Girl section, but if you don't like seeing babies have a bad time, this might not be your movie. This is not a Lisa movie at all. At all. Bad things happen to babies more than once.
Nathan,
so
why?
It's a very good horror film, but the premise is that things occur in which babies are not good. So that's as far as I'll get into it. But it's very good. It is straight up horror film. And this dude with this movie and Satan's Slaves is just crushing it. So not a Lisa movie at all.
Nope.
Not even close.
All right. My number 5 is Scare Me.
Mitch, don't just blow past that. This is the kind of man you're working with every week.
Defend babies. Go.
You have a sleeping baby right now. Say something.
I do. I'm going to have another baby in like about 2 months also.
Yeah, you don't get maternity leave. Sorry, Nate.
Nope, I know.
Just FYI, in case anyone heard that, it was like, oh no, Nate's leaving. No, it's in his contract. He doesn't get that.
Wow.
We don't have those perks. Jesus.
I know I shouldn't have signed that one thing in with a blood quill that one time. God, what a mistake. All that Crown Maple. I'm just signing random shit. Now look.
That's why we always have Crown Maple around when we start doing contracts next year. It's
like the Midsommar or like poisoned alcohol drink or whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah, my number 5 Scare Me. It's so good. It's not as scary. The way I pitched this to Lisa to get her to watch it was just, hey, this is not a horror. This is not really scary. There are horror elements to it, but it's a very smart film. I really like. They play on like all the different tropes. They talk about all the different sort of like same sort of fallacies, and I think it's deeper than it seems on the surface. It's a movie that I think you can watch and get something else out of each time you watch it, and the ending is just fantastic.
Ending was great. Loved it. Yep, it was good. Didn't make my top 10, but I did enjoy it. It's some good commentary about the male female dynamics, that especially at the ending.
There's a little bit about male privilege, but I think it's done in a very good way. I don't think it is antagonistic to some degree, but it's not. It makes sense. I don't think it's like anything that you're going to just throw, And
Aya Cash, I mean, look, this and The Boys, she had a pretty solid year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And stuff. I mean, I didn't know her before, and I was like, oh, yeah, she's good. She's good.
Scare Me was really good.
Solid. Yeah.
Mitch had a pre-screening for me, and then he's like, yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how he's screening movies for you now. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's got to live with me. He knows what I can handle and can't handle.
Yeah. My next one is The Platform. So number 4 is The Platform. Platform
criminally low.
Number 4, that's pretty high. That is pretty high. Platform's great. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. Spanish. We saw it last year at Fantastic Fest. Mitch is obsessed with it coming out. It took a long time to come out after we saw it. But it's really good. And we reviewed it this year. You can go to that review to see Mitch gush about something as much as possible. I mean, Mitch is gushing things this year. It was like Platform number 1, Jennifer Love Hewitt number 2, Hating Gretel and Hansel number 3. Like this, these are the top items for this year.
I think the math checks out.
So yeah, that's my number 4, Platform.
My number 4 was Invisible Man. It is a solid film, really good. Really great adaptation and remake of it. Elizabeth Moss is just so good.
She's a great actress.
She's a great actress. And I really like what they did with this. This movie had the potential to be terrible because we've seen terrible Invisible Man films.
Hollow Man 2. There's a second one of that, right? I'm pretty sure there was.
This is really good.
Hollow Man.
So
Sorry, I can just go to.
I'm excited that we'll get to review this here next year because this was the last movie I saw in theaters with you and one of our mutual friends. So Lisa, I think you'll enjoy this film.
In the before times.
This, admittedly, this top 10 was actually hard for me to do. So Invisible Man.
My top 10 initially was 19, and then I pared it down to 10.
All right, what's your 3?
My number 3 is Host. The Phenomenon is another Shudder one. Host is freaking amazing. 60 minutes. My wife loved it. And she was like, more movies should be short. Like more movies should be like 75 minutes and below. And I agree. I mean, look, do I have 3 hours to freaking watch Da 5 Bloods or whatever, like all the time? No, The Irishman, all that nonsense. I'm starting to like more of the short films that are more economical with their time. Maybe it's because we have kids, Lisa. Maybe that's the reason. But like,
Yes.
look, I only have a limited amount of time. I'd prefer to know if this is going to be terrible as fast as possible.
If you can't tell me a good story in 60 minutes, you're not going to tell me a good story.
Just wait till the third hour. Then that's when it really starts kicking in. You know, somebody was like, okay, come on. What are we even doing here at this point? But yeah, Host is great. It was a phenomenon. I think it was, one of the first movies recorded during the pandemic, right? In this way, Rob Savage's director just hit on this. He's already got a huge deal. And I forgot to bring this up, but Lee Wanell, Invisible Man, Lisa, he's doing a Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling next.
Oh, nice.
Yep, that's what I figured you might enjoy that. So Ryan Gosling in a Wolfman movie, I feel like you're in. So Lee Wanell is hitting it, and then the Rob Savage, director of Host, he's got a deal with, I think, Blumhouse already on a movie or two. He's working on a movie with Sam Raimi, I think. Yep. That guy also blew up. So there's these last two movies definitely some blow up potential for the directors, which is great because they're both really good.
Yeah.
What's your number 3, Mitch?
My 3 is Spree.
Oh, what? So high.
I loved Spree. I think I gave it a massively higher rating than y'all did for sure when we reviewed it. Spree is so good.
Oh, no.
I really loved all the meta stuff about it. I love the commentary. I know you were not a fan, but I really enjoyed Spree.
I gave it a 3. You gave it an 8. Checks out.
And exactly
checks out.
I love it. I thought there was a lot of layers to it. I just, it was I think very relatable for today's audience and everything. So yeah, I love it.
A Joe Keery guy was fantastic.
Yeah.
He's the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Very good acting. It had David Arquette in it, so that's like 5 points for you. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. It's in my most disappointing section. So that's good. We have a difference of opinion.
It's all right. People can like movies. Some people like Gretel and Hansel. So there's that.
Yes.
Mine, I'll switch it up. So my number 2, because we already talked about it, was Host. For all the reasons you said. One thing, you can't overlook is that this movie was filmed because of the pandemic. So, there's a lot of people that, and we've talked about it. I think we've talked about it in the episode where we reviewed it. There's a lot of people who've tried to do these found footage, who've tried to use their computer to record things.
Unfriended, dark web.
This with no real budget, with basically doing it with friends, with having to train actors how to do their own stunts, and no real production crews live on site, did it better than practically anyone. The only one that did it better was it Searching or Finding? The one with
Searching.
Searching. That's the only one that has done it better. And that was a major studio that behind that, with funding and all that. So this was. Yeah, fantastic. I can't gush about it. I think it's the Shudder came out with their statistics for the last year. I think they said the press release it was the most talked about and highest rated movie of the year. By all metrics. It was. I think it was at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for a while there too.
It's only 70 minutes long. It's okay. You gotta watch this. My mom watched it.
It's real good. It's real good. It's scary. The only reason, like Lisa, it's only because why I didn't push it on you was just because I know you're not a big fan of the supernatural horror.
Very true.
So, but very worth it. I will probably try to see if I can get my family to watch it during the holidays this year.
Yeah, from my list, my mom watched 1BR. She watched Invisible Man. She watched Host. So I got like 3. That's good. My mom is a great sport. So.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Oh.
It's written, directed, and starring Jim Cummings. It's a movie about wolf attacks happening in this kind of like small, snowy mountain town. He's one of the policemen in the area that these things are happening in. And it's a smaller budget, but not like small budget movie. It's got this weird kind of like these weird like dark humor beats that I think maybe some people might not like, but I just absolutely clicked with me. This guy's also got a movie that came out a couple years ago called Thunder Road that he wrote, directed, and starred in. It's also very good. I think it's on Amazon Prime. You can check it out. I just like this guy's whole deal. So I saw this movie and I was like, hell yes. It's got a good story. It's got I don't know if Garfunkel or Oates, who's the blonde one, but it's the blonde one from Garfunkel and Oates. The comedy.
I'm not sure yet, but yeah.
The one that's not Kate Micucci, Ricky Lindholm, I think is her name.
Yeah, you're right. That's Ricky Lindholm. Yep.
Yeah, and like there's like these, again, like I said, these like kind of comedy elements, but they fit in with the story. It's not jarring. It's just kind of awesome. And I watched that. I like fell in love with it. So highly recommend that one. It's real good. And Lisa, you would like this one too. It's not like super gory or super jump scary or anything. It's got creepiness. There are some murders, but it's like done well in a way where it's definitely unsuspecting victim friendly.
Okay.
Well, look, my number one movie is The Mortuary Collection. I love.
Wow, number one.
I love anthology films, and this was so good. I haven't seen a good anthology film in a long time, since maybe Tales from the Dark Side, right? The movie. I loved it. I love the stories. Everything made sense. Everything was well wrapped. So much of the success of anthology films is around the wrapper. What connects everything together, and just nailed it home. I just loved everything about it. I mean, I would say the top three films are movies that I've watched multiple times. And Nate, I think I've told you this. I just generally do not watch films more than once.
Which is so weird to me.
Well, a lot of that, I mean, maybe I was younger, I would. A lot of that just now is I just don't have as much time. So there's so much content being made. It's like, do I watch something I've seen already, or do I watch something new? When I have the time. So
yeah, because when you watch The Witch that seventh time, then you really start noticing the intricacies in the costumes. Come on, Mitch.
I just need everyone to know that you ran away from an opportunity to talk to Robert Eggers. So
I did. I'll live it down. Have you seen Scare Package this year?
I did watch Scare Package. It didn't bring the top 10, but it was right. I'd say it's right outside. I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right.
But I'll tell you, this is surprisingly, it was a good year for horror. I mean, I think it's just too new. I wanted to put Freaky somewhere here, but I think it's just too new.
Me too, but it was a little too
so I don't know if I just liked it because
it
was just like, at least I went to a drive-in to watch it. And we stayed in our car and didn't. I just don't know if I really liked it, or it was just the fact that I was out. I was like in a car out of my house watching a movie.
I'm outside.
It was like,
I'm outside.
This is the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to say.
Is that the one in Tomball?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Anyway,
that's where I saw the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. So I have bad horror movie vibes with that place.
Makes sense. What?
No, my number one is His House. It's on Netflix.
His House.
Yeah.
Streaming now on something.
Netflix.
It's
a movie about there are these refugees from South Sudan. They make their way to England.
Oh, I saw that. I think I saw the trailer.
In a harrowing journey, on a boat. Obviously, it capsizes and they barely make it, but they lose this girl that was with them. And so they make it to England. They get placed in a house. And they're told, there's all these rules, right? What they can and can't do while they're, awaiting an update on their status. They can get their green card equivalent, et cetera, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're there and they're battling with kind of like, you know, the husband is like, we need to assimilate. He's learning like, you know, soccer songs and soccer chants and like going to the pub and stuff and trying to like, you know, just kind of like, hey, this is the place we're at. I'm gonna go head first in and trying to kind of forget the past. The wife is all about the past, almost wanting to go back to the war-torn South Sudan rather than stay where they are. And so it comes to a head, but there's all these supernatural elements. It's kind of almost like Us in a way. The ghosts of their past kind of come at them in an Us-ish sort of way, but it makes way more sense than Us. And it actually is scary as shit in some parts, like really scary. There is like a scene where there's like practical effects used on this kind of demon-y thing that is just so fucking creepy. I was like this. I was like, oh God. When a demon reaches their hand inside of your arm, like it goes inside the dude's arm, I was just like, oh, Mitch is gonna love this. Is a reverse degloving from Gerald's Game. Oh man, you need to watch this movie because I want to hear your opinion on that. But there are just some scenes that are just straight horror. Oh. But the ending is actually, it's bittersweet, but not like totally negative. If I'm looking at on this list, there's a lot of movies that end just like, oh no. And it actually had a little bittersweet, almost positive ending, which is most of these movies did not. Yeah. So I kind of like that too, but that's on Netflix. So easy to check out. And yeah, definitely my favorite one of the year. Real good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Lisa, did I sell you on any of these movies?
No.
Okay.
I think Invisible Man. You guys liked Invisible Man. I think I need to watch that. Obviously, 1BR. Obviously,
1BR you'll like. Yeah. My mom. Yeah, I think my mom said 1BR was good. Like she's like, oh, that's a good.
Not as supernatural. So that one I think will be.
Yep, not supernatural.
Yeah, and I like Naomi. She's great. So
yeah, and she's a Saints fan.
Check those out. Yeah.
Okay. And she doesn't like basements.
Pro Attic as well.
Yeah, it's just the whole package.
Yeah. All right, Nate, anything else on the survey or anything else? I know you have your My Girl award. Is that the last?
Yeah, I got to give an honorable mention to The Lodge. We love The Lodge. The Lodge is great. Lisa would hate The Lodge. Never watch The Lodge, Lisa. Never.
I purposefully left my
I will not.
I purposely let the platform and The Lodge off because I feel like I talked about them so much last year that is like it felt weird just still talking about it this year.
Where would the platform would be your number one?
No, actually, this year I would have maybe put them 2 or 3. Wow. It would have been high up, but I really like the Mortuary Collection. The Lodge would have been probably closer to the 5-6 range.
Yeah, that was my honorable mention. Possessor from Brandon
I didn't
Cronenberg.
Even see that one. So.
David Cronenberg's son is a real good lo-fi, like a low, like in the future where everything's analog.
Yeah.
Like Alien, but it was instead of 1979, it's this year. That was really cool. And I got to give a shout out to Babool, Indian horror film on Netflix. Look, if you're creeped out by people with backward feet, this is not the movie for you. There's a lot of backward. Imagine watching someone climb a tree with backward feet. If you can't handle that, you're not going to like this movie. But it was actually a solid Indian horror movie, which there aren't a ton of them. So that was really cool.
I feel like Possessor, there's only like the one picture that's come out for that.
There's only one. It's a good movie. I do recommend watching it. It's got Sean Bean. Spoiler alert, Sean Bean doesn't make it, which is 100% of every movie he's ever
big shock.
Sean Bean has never made it. I just got to throw it in. The streak is alive.
I want to see a film
where Sean Bean makes it to the end.
Sean Bean versus Danny Trejo. Both notoriously murdering everything they're in.
Yes. Maybe they murder each other together.
Who survives longer?
Maybe they both make it and then they get in a car crash and the credits happen.
That would be that would be so good. I would pay a lot of money to see that. All right, Nate. Well, look, the most prestigious award we give every year,
is
the Nate My Girl
talking about my girl.
My girl.
They're dead.
They're dead.
Oh, sorry. Yes, this is the award. This is the award. This is the award where worst kids dying in movies that came out this year. There are spoilers in this. So hey, if you don't want some of these movies to be spoiled and you were intrigued by our lists and movies we talked about, you can. This is massive spoilers. So you can stop listening here, or you skip ahead a little bit. But we're gonna get into some spoilers. First one, in the movie Spiral, there is a sort of ritual that occurs, and a teenage daughter is being eaten by her supposed boyfriend as her dad walks in, being chased by a cult. So that's number 8. Only 8 this year, Mitch.
Oh my God.
Only 8 this year.
This is where I take a break for a little while.
Yeah. What?
In number 7, Color Out of Space.
This would have been much higher, but maybe I just didn't see as much
not really.
year.
Actually, not really. If you look at the other ones, well, okay, I might have been able to go up 1 or 2 more. The son gets subsumed and morphed into his mom's body, and I just wrote Timmy goes down the well. So then the other kid goes down the well, and then the third kid just gets color exploded.
Yeah.
There's 3 different kids dying.
No, that poor little boy getting sucked in because he's just running to his mom for. It's brutal.
Then got like Siamese twin subsumed.
I made the mistake of putting back my headphones in.
Really wish you had.
Seconds.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
And then I was like, no, thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's
just signal me when we're ready to move on.
I'll signal you when we're ready.
Number 6, Possessor. This is the end of the movie, Mitch. Do you want me to ruin it for you?
I'm taking my headphones off. All right.
Fine. Okay. So the Possessor is about possession. So the mom in the film is possessing a guy who kills her son as the son stabs. Nope, Mitch, keep it off. As the son stabs the person she's possessing, little to find out that her son is also being possessed by someone else and is dead. It was brutal. Okay, you're good. We're back. We're back in.
We're back.
The ending of Possessor is not ruined for you.
Thank you.
Okay, I got number 5. I got the Mortuary Collection. There is a serial murderer of children who happens to be the young woman who's in the movie. She is murdered. How many was it? I'm trying to remember how many kids.
A stupid amount. I don't remember.
A stupidly large amount. And she takes trinkets
lot.
from all of them. And that's what she was there to do in the whole point of the movie. It's great. Good ending. Awesome segment of the anthology. Best segment of the anthology by far. Was
clearly a strong anthology. And that's the best segment.
Yes. Yeah. In my number 1, His House, there is when they are traveling to get into Europe, the girl that they're with passes away. Not really a huge spoiler. They also see the girl then later who attacks them, and it is creepy as shit. And then in the ending, they have to kind of like let her go metaphorically. So it's like she died twice. It was really brutal. It's sad, not in a horror way, in a sad way. Yep. So that's that one. We're now in the top 3. Look, you got to go Execution Cult Lodge. You got 2 kids, execution style murdered, cult style execution style in a lodge. The reason they're murdered, their own fault for playing one of the most elaborate hoaxes of all time that could not backfire more spectacularly. Their dad dies. They die with duct tape over their mouth while a crazy person sings Christian hymns at them and holds a gun to their head. Not great. And those are 2 kids. La Llorona. 2 kids are drowned in a river by soldiers right in front of their mom. And then the mom is shot in the head.
Oh,
it is very brutal and very terrible, and it's bad. That sounds great, doesn't it? But it's not even number one. Number one, in Pedagore, there is a curse on this village. 3 7-year-old girls were kidnapped and skinned to make new skin for this girl. And ever since that happened, all of the babies for 20 plus years born in this village have no skin. What do they do with all the babies in the village born without skin? They drown them. So babies for 2 decades are drowned every time in this village. I cannot think of anything worse child-wise ever. And that is the premise of Impedagore. Mitch, any comments?
Why did we end with this segment? Why was it not much earlier or just not on? How do I segue to end for this, Nate?
It's done.
Well, that's
Lisa,
that's all the child murder. Join us next week when I don't even know what to.
It's only once a year. Anyway, that's the My Girl Award, and Pedagore is the winner. Belzebuth was last year.
What did they win, Nate? No one wins in that. Jesus Christ, Nate.
It's a winner. I got to point it out. There was a lot of dog deaths this year too, but I went with the kids this time. So
okay, well we got that.
So there's that. Lisa, you're safe. You're safe now.
I see, and I'm scared because at some point Mitch took his headphones off, which means it was really bad.
Oh, that was I didn't want to get spoiled. I didn't want to
spoil it.
No.
I was like, dang, if Mitch won't even listen to it.
I was present for the really bad one, unfortunately. So
there you go.
Right, well, that is the last
20. That's the way to end 2020.
That is the way to end 2020. That is actually a very appropriate way to end this year. Look, it's been a crazy year, but we want to thank each and every one of you for listening in, tuning in. If this is your first episode, if this is your 100th episode, if you've been skipping around, if you've been listening to them all the way since the beginning, thank you very much. It means the world to us. We're 3 people, although we're 2.5 of us care about the horror.
It rounds up.
2.5 of us is a passion thing. The other half is like, I'm okay. I hear.
Thank you for your service, Lisa. Thank you for your service.
I love seeing the comments from the survey that a lot of people just like the conversation. Yeah, I mean we're while we do get sponsored, we're not this isn't obviously our job. Thank God. We would be starving.
Lisa's like, can I preemptively quit this job I did not have? Can I do this, please?
Right.
It has a very generous maternity leave policy, though. I'll give it that.
It does.
Yeah,
our HR department, fantastic.
Well, I don't get jack, so I mean, if you balance it out, it's just average, I guess.
It's not as progressive as it could be, sure. No. I mean, we do this because we love. Hey, we're just good friends, love hanging out. Love talking horror movies. Having our friends watch shitty movies and making them endure it has been a common thread of mine and Nate's friendship. And
Never
we're happy.
Ginger Dead Man.
If anything, we're happy that you're here listening because it only serves to encourage us to keep harassing our friends. And I think that's really what this is all about. No, but thank you very much. Nate, at least I don't know if either of you have anything y'all want to say as we wrap out. Wrap out. I don't know what that means, but
let's wrap out. All right, Daddy-O. Let's. I don't know what that was.
No, just everyone have happy holidays, happy New Year. Stay safe. We'll see you in 2021.
We're
going to Fantastic Fest this year. We got to will it into existence.
Yeah, it's happening.
I don't know.
Going to Fantastic Fest. That's probably it. I don't think I'm going to do another. I would love to go to Salem Horror Fest. I'm probably not making it to Salem Horror Fest. If they have a virtual thing, I will be down for that.
I guess another thing I was thankful for this year is that we got to talk and do more interviews this year.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, we did some interviews with some people that really like chatting with. So I think we're going to expand that hopefully next year, do a couple more of those. and really get the inside information. I mean, look, 1BR, we got so many great stories: stolen trucks, feminine energy drinks, wildfires, just great. It's like getting the director commentary on the Blu-ray, Mitch, but I get to ask my own questions. So it's literally the best thing ever.
They're really cool. I would highly recommend going on our YouTube page and checking them out. We do have them on the feed as bonus, but it's totally worth it to go and actually watch the video with the folks we interviewed. Really cool commentary, really cool stuff. That's been certainly a highlight this year.
New Year's resolution, Robert Eggers' The Northman's coming out in 2021. New Year's resolution, try to get Robert Eggers on an interview. I don't know if it's possible.
Why?
Probably not, because he's so huge.
So you can just sit there with your you'll be like,
I'm broken.
It was adorable. All right. Well, look, with that said, thank you so much, Nate. Where can they find us?
You can find us, as always, at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre on Facebook and Instagram. Give us those 5-star Apple reviews mentioning Human Centipede, and we will review it in 2021. I have 2 resolutions: Robert Eggers, Human Centipede. Those are 2 different things, but here it's been a weird year. It's going to be a weird year next year, probably too. So just roll with it. You can email us, texaspodcastmassacre@gmail.com. Questions, concerns, reasons for liking Basements other than it just being rational. Send those in so Mitch can understand what's happening.
I'll never understand.
And check us out on YouTube. So we have the videos, like Mitch mentioned. We have some special videos with interviews, parody music videos that we've done, all kinds of little extra stuff there on YouTube. And we're looking forward to 2021. Hopefully being able to see each other at some point, Mitch. Whenever that happens, it's a drinking episode for sure.
Ooh, Lamageddon is happening.
Lamageddon. It could be. Wow, what a way to really celebrate friendship, being together. Lamageddon. That could be it. Whoever asked for more terrible movies this year is in luck. So you really timed that well. 2021. We have some cool stuff that we're gonna do, and hopefully it's just a better year than the garbage year of 2020. That's really the main thing. Let's get a better year going for sure.
Can't be much worse. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in. Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. Happy New Year. Just keep telling yourself it was only 2020. Good night.